Hello, folks. Migrating to Europe can be a life-changing decision, and the ease of migration depends on various factors, including individual qualifications, skills, and the specific immigration policies of each country. Here are 10 European countries that have been known for relatively accessible immigration processes. So let's get started. Number 10. Denmark. To become a Danish citizen, you must not only have lived in the nation for over a decade, but also have an excellent command of written and spoken Danish. While many European countries accept A2 or B1 language skills, the Danish government requires most migrants asking for citizenship to earn the Prøve i Dansk 3 language certificate, which is equivalent to B2 Danish. Passing the Prøve i Dansk 2, which equivalent to B1 Danish, will suffice if you can demonstrate that you've been financially independent for the preceding 8.5 years and haven't relied on state handouts. After you've completed your 9 years and know your rugbrod from your flæskestig, you'll be asked to sign a declaration declaring your patriotism and commitment to Denmark and Danish society, as well as your promise to follow its laws. You must also submit papers proving your identification, current nationality, residency, and economic activity in Denmark, as well as pass a citizenship test that includes questions about Danish culture, politics, and life. After you've completed all of this and the Danish Parliament has granted your citizenship application, you'll be expected to attend a ceremony in which you must shake hands with a local authority. You can wave goodbye to your new nationality if you refuse to shake hands. The Danish government has also proposed adding new questions about Danish principles to the citizenship test and an interview as part of the process in recent months, although this has not yet been enacted into law. If you need to gain residency first, the Denmark Startup Visa is a popular route for tech entrepreneurs. Application fee: €510, 3,800 DKK, length of time living in country, 9 years language level needed, B2 Danish dual nationality allowed. Yes. Number 9. Norway, like Denmark, altered its multiple nationality restrictions in 2015 and enacted a law in 2020 allowing Norwegians and foreigners seeking to become Norwegians to keep a second citizenship in addition to their Norwegian one. Migrants must have spent at least 7 years in Norway on a valid residence permit to be eligible for this sought-after passport, though, unlike other nations, Norway's immigration authorities do allow for short absences. You'll need to deliver a series of documents in person after filling out an online application, including your birth certificates, marriage certificates, if applicable, a complete list of entries and departures from Norway, at least 7 years of tax returns, and a police report certifying good conduct. You must earn either A2 or B1 Norwegian depending on your prior nationality, as well as pass a 1-hour citizenship test in either of the 2 written versions of Norwegian, Bokmål og Norsk. Number 8. Germany. Naturalization, like other areas of life in Germany, includes a significant amount of paperwork. If you want to apply after 6 years, you must demonstrate that you've lived in the nation continuously for that period, that you have upper intermediate, B2 level, German, and that you've finished an integration course at your local Volkshochschule. You can skip the integration course if you apply after 8 years, as most people do, but you must demonstrate social integration by proving conversational, B1. German language skills and passing a citizenship test with questions about German politics and culture. A completed application form, valid passport, certified translations of your birth certificate, previous year's tax returns, proof of valid health insurance, and your most current rental agreement or proof of house ownership are all expected. Since the end of the Brexit transition period, British citizens asking for German citizenship have been regarded the same as other third country nationals, which means that they must usually relinquish their British citizenship in order to become German. Number 7. Netherlands. The Netherlands, like Germany and Spain, has laws prohibiting dual nationality, which means that if you wish to become a Dutch citizen, you'll have to give up your current citizenship. If you elect to become a Dutch citizen, you must have resided in the nation for 5 years in a row, pass the civic integration exam, and be willing to profess your support for the Dutch state at the final citizenship ceremony. Application fee: €925. Length of time living in country: 5 years. Language level needed: A2 Dutch. Dual nationality allowed: no. Number 6. France. The residency qualification term in France is one of the shortest in the world. Most foreign nationals must have spent 5 years in France. However, if you have finished postgraduate studies at a French university, this can be lowered to 2 years. As you might think, successful integration is the most important condition for citizenship. You'll need to demonstrate that you can communicate in French at an intermediate level and that you understand and appreciate French culture, history, and politics. You'll need 2 copies of the application form, Demande d'acquisition de la nationalité française, as well as a valid passport, certified translations of your birth certificate and your parents' birth certificates, tax returns in January and December payslips from the previous 3 years, a rental agreement or proof of home ownership in France, a clean criminal record, an AB1 or high-tech visa. Following the submission of your documents, you will be invited to a, in French, interview in which you will be expected to demonstrate your understanding of and dedication to the French way of life. While you won't have to name every king of the Ancien regime, your knowledge of civic life and politics may be put to the test, so it's a good idea to read the Citizenship Handbook, also known as the Livre de Citoyen, ahead of time. However, the time it takes for your application to be processed is quite long on average. It takes 18 months to 2 years from the time you submit it to the time you get citizenship. If you need to gain residency first, the France passport talent stream is often the most popular route. Application fee: €55 length of time living in country, 5 years language level needed, B1 French dual nationality allowed. Yes. Number 5. Belgium, along with Sweden and France, has some of Europe's lowest citizenship obstacles. To be eligible for Belgian citizenship, you must have lived in Belgium for at least 5 years, demonstrate knowledge of one of the country's national languages, Dutch, German, or French, and demonstrate economic participation, which entails paying taxes and other social security contributions for at least a few years. Application fee: €50. Length of time living in country: 5 years. Language level needed: A2 French, Dutch, or German. Dual nationality allowed. Yes. Number 4. United Kingdom. To be eligible for British citizenship, you must have resided in the UK for at least 5 years, passed the Life in the UK test, and be able to demonstrate an intermediate command of the English language. The application fees are by far the highest in Europe, at over £1,300, so you'll need to be financially secure to apply. The UK Tier 1 investor visa is the most popular route for wealthy foreigners to gain residency in the UK. Application fee: £1,330 length of time living in country, 5 years language level needed, B1 English dual nationality allowed. Yes. Number 3. Sweden. Sweden has some of the most permissive citizenship regulations in Europe, with no language requirements for new Swedes and only a 5-year residency time required to become a Swedish citizen. This can be reduced even further to only 3 years for anyone who has been married or cohabiting with a Swedish spouse for at least 2 years, albeit you will be requested to demonstrate that you have adapted successfully to Swedish life through learning the language, for example, but you could also prove this by showing you can support yourself or through the length of your marriage. Other Nordic citizens can also benefit from a streamlined procedure. You should also be aware that while brief visits overseas are permissible, spending more than 6 weeks abroad in any given year may delay the time until you can apply for citizenship. Furthermore, only time spent in Sweden while holding a valid residence permit for non-EU residents counts toward your residence. If you arrived without one and later obtained one, this initial amount of time will be ignored. While Swedish language skills are not currently required for citizenship, this may change in the future. The Swedish Ministry of Justice and Migration proposed in January 2021 to introduce an A2 language exam for would-be Swedes, with exceptions for vulnerable people who have made a reasonable effort to learn the language. These plans will go through a lengthy political process before becoming legislation, so for the time being, all you need to verify is your identity, length of residency in Sweden, in the absence of any severe criminal offenses or debts. It's also worth noting that, while the time it takes to become eligible for citizenship is quite quick, the time it takes to get citizenship is not. The migration agency estimates that it will take an average of 39 months for applicants to become Swedish after completing their application. The process has been reported to take anywhere from a few weeks to almost 3 years by readers of the local. Application fee: Euro 150, 1,500 Swedish kronor. Length of time living in country: 5 years. Language level needed: None. Dual nationality allowed? Yes. Number 2. Ireland. Ireland has had a unique status as the only nationality with the automatic ability to live and work freely in both the UK and the EU since the end of the Brexit transition period in January 2021. Anyone born in Northern Ireland to British or Irish parents is entitled to both a UK and an Irish passport, allowing them to apply for EU citizenship automatically. In the same way that Italy has an ancestral road to citizenship, persons having Irish parents or grandparents are entitled to an Irish passport in most cases. For everyone else, the process of becoming Irish is rather simple, requiring only 5 years of residence. However, the cost of acquiring a certificate of naturalization is prohibitively expensive, so you may want to postpone the process until you have some extra income. In many cases, even for ancestry, you will need to gain residency first. The Ireland Immigrant Investor Program offers the flexibility that other Irish residency programs do not offer. Application fee: €175 on application, €950 if approved length of time living in country, 5 years language level needed, non-dual nationality allowed. Yes. Number 1. Portugal. Basic language skills and at least 5 years of residence in Portugal are required to become Portuguese. You'll also need to bring your passport, birth certificate, a list of prior nations you've lived in, and a criminal record certificate with no significant offenses. What makes Portugal the easiest country in Europe to gain citizenship is that there are no physical presence requirements, meaning you only need to hold your resident permit in order to qualify for naturalization. You don't need to spend most of the year in the country like most other countries. But if your resident permit requires you to spend most of the year in the country to maintain its validity, then you are forced to. This is why so many choose the Portugal Golden Visa. With an investment of at least €280,000 in the country, you gain a 5-year resident permit with very little minimum stay requirements. Application fee: €200 length of time living in country, 5 years language level needed, a 2 Portuguese dual nationality allowed. Yes. That's all. It's essential to note that while these programs provide accelerated paths to citizenship, they often involve significant financial commitments, and applicants must adhere to specific legal criteria outlined by each country. Additionally, the acceptance and legality of such programs can vary. Individuals considering these options should conduct thorough research, consult with legal experts, and ensure compliance with the latest legal requirements. It's recommended to check with official government sources for the most up-to-date information. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. See you on the next video.